Aloha guys, Justin here with another episode of Fish and Dive Hawaii, and it just finished raining here in Haleiwa on the north shore of Oahu. It's fall time right now, it's going to be winter coming up, so that means there's going to be more rain and more waves, which means less diving. But today's episode, I've got an awesome dive for you that happened last month. Took one of the best shots I've ever taken in my life, made an awesome recipe out of that fish, and dove with a long-time subscriber of ours, Reno. Been a huge supporter of this community that we have on YouTube and on Instagram, so it's gonna be really exciting. Before we get started, I just want to let you guys know where I've been the last couple of weeks. So one of my SD cards actually got wiped. I lost like 2 to 3 episodes, but I have been filming a bunch of content that's going to be coming out in the next few weeks. But I've also been working on a really big project for beginners to spearfishing. You guys may have heard of it if you follow us on the Instagram, but if you haven't, click the link in the description, check it out. If you guys are new to spearfishing or want to learn how to do it the right way here in Hawaii, this program may be for you. So check out the link in the description, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the video. Alright guys, back with another spearfishing episode. Super excited to share what we have in store for you, and boom, a flounder. This is my very first flounder I've ever caught. Pretty good size one. You guys will see in just a second how big it is.
Oh. That was the first time I ever shot a flounder.
Really?
Yeah.
I just shot one.
This is a good size one, yeah?
Why not? Yeah. You know how to...
So the funny thing about that is me and Reno are diving a little bit deeper waters today, so I usually like to take some warm-up drops right when we jump in, and literally my first drop I seen this fish, so it's pretty stoked. So the spot that we're diving at has huge shorebreak in the winter here on the north shore of Oahu, and there's a lot of moving water, so you get a lot of trash and stuff that's left over, so just trying to clean up the reef a little bit. This fish right here is a fish that I don't always target normally, but this is called a lie or a leatherback fish. Otherwise known as a spotted queenfish. So they don't get as big, but they're called leatherback fish because their skin is really tough. You can actually use them as lures. My buddy Nick from Real Adventures Hawaii actually did a video on that not too long ago, so go check it out. Unlike the lie, which is more of an open water fish, right now I'm targeting some impachi or squirrel fish that like to hide in little caves, but found this nice little opening under this big rock, so I've been taking some drops. The first shot I missed, so I went ahead and loaded it with just one band, and I'm gonna try again. So anyone who's hunted mampacha before knows that sometimes they're the easiest fish to catch, and other times they can be pretty difficult because although they're stationary for maybe like a half second to like 1 or 2 seconds, they move really sporadically, so sometimes you just get unlucky like how I am right now. So I don't know if you guys seen that from the surface, but I seen a little bit of discoloration on the reef, which is a good indicator that this is probably a little taco trying to sunbathe a little bit, or just kind of giving away his spot. So I took a drop, and sure enough it was. And this guy's pretty curious. You can see right in the center of the screen his little bit of discoloration. They're usually a darker color in contrast to the reef, but this guy's being a little bit tricky to extract with my spear gun. So normally you'd want to do this with a Polespear, but I just didn't want to go back to my buoy and grab it. I don't even think I brought it out with me this dive, so just gotta make do with what you are working with, but you have to be careful because your barb can get stuck inside of a taco hole. If you guys do decide to do this method, make sure you guys are holding the barrel, keeping it away from the reef so it doesn't accidentally fire. So this little guy is definitely not the legal size limit, which is 1 pound. He's maybe like a ½ pound or something, so I'm just gonna kind of play with him, try to get some cool camera angles and let him go. And I didn't even explain to you guys what's on my wrist. So that's the Insta360 camera. I had a wrist mount. I thought it'd make for some really cool angles, but unfortunately my SD card got formatted, as I mentioned in the intro. So yeah, I lost all of this cool footage. But anyways, here's what the little taco looks like when he's back on the reef. So as I mentioned before, I don't really target lai as much, but there's just a bunch of them swimming around the water. They taste just like chicken. It's a nice little fish to catch for beginners. So if you guys are new to spearfishing, then this is definitely a fish that you can target, and you know that it's going to taste good after you cook it. But yeah, it was just a fun little dive day. So right there I was targeting a uhu, probably the only uhu of the day that gave me a shot. But if I don't like the shot, I don't take it. So I mean, it saves the fish. If it's a bad shot placement, then the fish is just gonna die somewhere, and it also saves me from missing a shot and feeling bad about myself. So what you guys just witnessed right there, you might want to rewind it for a second, but this whole school of fish under this rock, it's a big pile of menpachi. So just like how I mentioned, the sporadic movements, you can kind of tell under this big shelf. So took a shot at one, was able to land it this time. So on that second drop, the first fish that I caught was a little on the smaller side of what I would normally want to catch as far as menpachi size. They just got a lot of spines and it's not worth cleaning it if it's not a decent sized fish. So didn't decide to take a shot then, so I moved a little bit further to the left and was able to find some bigger fish. So I don't know if you guys noticed, but I was also using one band for that shot, and the purpose behind that is because if you guys are shooting these whole fish in caves, if you use two bands, you're just gonna have yourself more at risk of losing your shaft by getting stuck in the rock, in the reef, and just going deep into a cave. So just use one band, and obviously if you have a bigger gun, like right now I'm using a new 90cm gun, then you might not want to shoot in holes, but with a 90cm, maybe even 100cm, you can probably get away with just using one band. So I swam closer to where Reno was kind of hanging out, and the current was ripping over here. So I'm trying to line up a shot with this Pananu, and it's doing the same movement. So Pananu is the star-eyed parrotfish, and they're usually kind of more like to hide in these caves areas. So I noticed this same Pananu, every time I was doing this route to the reef, it would follow the same path towards this little cave, so I was able to time a shot and it was damn near perfect. To be honest, that was probably one of my best shots I've ever taken, but of course it was probably just all luck.
Yeah! Yes! Huh? Oh, that's such a hard shot too, because he's right behind the rock.
To me, what made this shot so awesome is that Reno actually had to hold my buoy. I swam over the fish because the current was so strong to compensate for where I wanted to take the drop. So got pretty lucky and pretty stoked about that. So I did do a little segue in between catching the fish to cleaning it, but again it got deleted, so we're just gonna jump right into where I'm cleaning the fish. But you're gonna want to watch this, it's really funny. Alright guys, so typically I would use a spoon and a knife to clean these fish, but what I do have today is this bad boy. We're gonna try to use this pressure washer to descale the fish, or to take the scales off of it. This was actually from a YouTube comment that I got last year sometime, saying that somebody actually uses a pressure washer to clean off the scales of the fish. So we'll see how effective that is, because I hate taking scales off of parrotfish like this. It is really cumbersome. So we're trying to scale this with the pressure washer and see if that works. Alright, so what I'm gonna have to do is stick a knife in here, otherwise the fish is gonna slide all crazy. Oh my gosh, this seems like really stupid. Let's try it out. Oh! Alright guys, I don't know if this is the most effective way to clean scale fish, but let's try this some more.
What are you shooting?
Trying to shoot the scales off the fish.
Oh my god.
Alright, so now we got the flounder. Since shaking is easier. Oh, that worked. Check it out. I don't know if you have to scale the back either. Is there any scales? Let's try. And the last fish, Mempachi. Oh, that. That kind of worked. Alright, so I'm just gonna have to do it the OG way. I mean, I'm sure there's a better way if like I was to peg it to the ground. I think the guy said he pegs the tail and then he just shoots it off, so can't really get much leverage if the knife is right here and I'm trying to shoot it with the other handle, but you can even use your fingers. So I've never caught a flounder before, so I'm just gonna guess where you clean it at is usually there's like a little hole where, you know what, is this it? Oh, there we go. Here's some contents. Whoa, check this out guys, look at this. What bruh, that's wild. What the heck? It's just like a size 18 BKN hook. 20 maybe. Wild. Well, whoever's out there, if this belongs to you, then I got your fish, dog. If you want to share some. It looks like I got some ink in here. Look at that. That's like an ink sac from like a taco or something. What the heck? So that's, I guess, how you clean it. Honestly, that was one of the hardest fish that I've ever cleaned, as far as like the inside contents. And you guys seen in one of the last episodes we did with the Mempachi, this one's pretty easy to clean out as well. We have like a potluck kind of dinner for my cousins who are leaving Oregon tomorrow night, so I'll show you guys how we're gonna cook that up. So this cat just showed up right after I finished cleaning my fish. Probably smelt it, so I wouldn't doubt it if this was the same cat that stole my fish. Alright guys, so it's been about 2 days since we caught the fish. Tonight I'm gonna go ahead and bake the uhu, but the first thing we're gonna need is some ingredients, starting with some green onion. And luckily my grandpa has this hydroponic farm that he grows. So he's got some papaya trees going, all the green onion over here. Those are sunfish, like a certain type of tilapia. Sometimes he eats them even. And what happens is the motor drains all the way through this filter, and in this filter is some rocks, and that kind of goes in here. So the plants feed off the nutrients from all the fish poop pretty much, and it's just really rich environment for these plants to grow. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut some of these green onions off with some scissors over here. All right, green onions. Another thing I'm gonna grab is some tea leaves, just kind of like a traditional thing in Hawaii whenever you guys cook fish. Use tea leaves to line it with. So I'm gonna grab probably like 3 or 4. All right, 4 tea leaves for the boys. All right, so now I have this pan. Hopefully it's big enough. Fish isn't that big, but it might be a little bit bigger than this pan. So I went ahead and washed the tea leaves. They're pretty dirty, and I'm just gonna lay the fish right on top of it. So just set this down here right next to this beautiful Venture wetsuit. I got the green onions. I'm just gonna put this on the side to wash later, and then let's bust out the fish. So we got the fish right here. Just gonna lay this right on top, and look at that, fits damn near perfect. This is the fish laid up on the bed of tea leaves. I've got a bowl to mix my sauce and whatever ingredients I'm using. I got some mayonnaise over here. I'm just gonna use that, kind of eye out how much mayonnaise I need for this particular fish. Green onions, cilantro, and onion, garlic, oyster or sesame oil, soy sauce, Aloha shoyu, the best, oyster sauce, and then some brown sugar, and then Hawaiian salt and pepper. Oh, cannot forget Portuguese sausage, redondos. Let's get some mayonnaise. Let's be real generous with the mayonnaise. Wow. So we got the mayonnaise in here. Next thing we're gonna put is some sesame oil. You don't need a whole lot of sesame oil. Some oyster sauce. And guys, I get this in the comments all the time, but I'm not a professional chef. I don't really follow ingredients like specific half cup, teaspoon, tablespoon. I just go. So if you wanna give me suggestions, I'm more than happy to welcome them. But if you're just here to talk crap about my cooking, then feel free to just exit the video. All right, so we got the shoyu, sesame oil, oyster sauce, and I'm gonna add some brown sugar, C&H brand right there. Add all kind. All right, so you're gonna mix it up. Let's taste this bugger right here. It's good. That is good right there. So now that we got this mixed up, what we're gonna do next is cutting up the vegetables. So first one's gonna be the green onions. Throw it on the side. Next, you're gonna get the cilantro. Just cut whatever. Next, you're gonna do the onions. Next up, we got the garlic. I'm gonna use about 4 big cloves. So what I'm gonna do is actually add the garlic into the sauce for now, and the onions actually. Let's add most of the onions. Next up is the sausage. Might split it down the middle first. All right, and then the sausage, just gonna go right into the sauce too. Look at that. All right, let's mix that up. Woo. Now we got a nice concoction right here. This is gonna be the stuffing and the stuff that goes over the fish. All right, so with this fish, we usually like to cut slits inside. That way it's gonna cook more thoroughly, and whatever we're dressing it with is gonna get into the meat as well. All right, now we're gonna season the fish with some Hawaiian salt. Got this fancy shaker. Whew. Okay, here we got the fish seasoned with salt and pepper. Now we're gonna go ahead and stuff it. So the first thing we're gonna do is take a big scoop, open up the cavity of the fish, and just get it all in there, just like that. That's essentially stuffed uhu or the stuffed pananu. Let's get the rest of the ingredients. Just get it all in the fish. Just get it underneath the fish too. All that on top. Now we're gonna add the rest of the ingredients. The green onion, cilantro, right on top. All right, and then we're good to go. All I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put some aluminum foil on top, poke some holes in it to help let the steam out, and cook it up at my cousin's house. We want to see fish? It's in here. Sore. See? What was the most sore part?
Probably over here.
Outside?
Over here. Actually right here. Right here my legs started shaking.
Right on the bone.
Yeah.
There we go. How do I turn it off?
Up and off.
Oh yeah, that'd be a good one. You have like hot glove things? Is it these?
Well, it looks kind of dinky on you, but yeah, that's what I use. For what?
Take it out?
Yeah. Here, put it over here if you want.
Alright, should be good to go. Let's get this foil off. Oh, look at that, guys. Wow. And this is the best way to tell if it's cooked. Is just get like a fork, or you can use your tongs or whatever, and then stick it all the way through, and it should hit the bone. If it doesn't hit the bone, that means the fish isn't cooked all the way through. So earlier we pulled it out. Or I didn't pull it out, but I checked it, and there's still some rawish meat, so it's good to go. Got the sausage, got the green onion, cilantro. Alright, Charlotte's gonna get the first bite over here. Hot?
Oh, it's good.
Yeah? I've been waiting so long to make this. Alright, sample that.
Are you gonna
I already am recording. You know the drill?
It's fish.
Good? Alright guys, got the Pananu right here. Got some sausage and all that stuff. So let's do a little taste test. I haven't shot parrotfish, parrotfish, Pananu, uhu in a while. I think this might be the first Pananu of this year, but man, I love this recipe. Super easy. You guys seen all the ingredients. You can also steam it using that Chinese style that I've done with the goldfish, but man, stuffed uhu, mayonnaise, Portuguese sausage, vegetables, whatever else, man, comes out really good. So you guys catch parrotfish, now you guys know how to cook it up. So thank you guys for watching, and get some more diving videos coming out soon. See you guys in the next episode. Shoots mahalo. See you later. Bye bye.